crafters, I like to show you the new dies that I designed for the KLJUYP store. I designed a few dies. At the end of this video I'm going to tell you something about the fundraising, because I'm fully working on it, and oh my goodness, you guys are so sweet. Oh, I can't express my thank you enough. The new dies. I designed these mermaid bows, and they are you can use them like this with the bow and the tails, or even stack them. What I did, I made two samples and they look like this, and I used glitter paper, but they will emboss the fish scales inside the part with the normal tails and inside the bow. And if you don't want to use this part, you can also use it like this, so with two tails. And this is the bigger one, this is a smaller one, and to give you an estimate, it's about 8 centimeters, the smallest one, by 3.5 centimeters, and in inches that's 3 inches by approximately slightly bigger than 1.25 inch. And the bigger one is larger, of course, but that one is about 4.5 inches, and in centimeters that's about 12 centimeters. So not too big, and I think very usable in both sizes, and I think they're lovely because now you have tails on both sides. And what I personally like a lot is that I made the fish scales inside of the bow as well. Some cut, some only emboss, but I think that just adds to the effect of these bows. I'm sorry for the noise, but then I designed this slit. I know it's a hard word for me to do, but I wanted you to have a clear picture on how they will look if you die cut them out. They are a little bit of a vintage design, but I like that a lot, and I put in embossing so it looks like real wood. I think they are so nice, became so nice, let me say it like that. Then I designed, and I have to take the other one as well, I designed an elegant apron, because I saw that there were a lot of aprons on AliExpress, but not elegant ones. And I noticed that a few of the design team members already, I'm sorry, Lotje came into my room meowing really hard. What is yeah. Oh, what is I'm so sorry guys, but I have to see what's wrong with her. So I will try to do this video as fast as I can. But these are really elegant aprons, and I believe that the seller already made some samples, so you can check out the samples in the store. But I even made them that you can only put on an extra ribbon, or a ribbon with a mini skirt on top, and have a bag on top of the mini skirt. I put in an extra skirt part, so you can even make the skirt in a different color. I put in the embossing lines, I take the bigger one so you see it better, inside of the dress, but also inside of the bottom part of the dress. And you can mix and match. I put into bows. I think these are lovely. I made a small one for the card makers and a bigger one for the journaling and scrapbookers. And by now I think you know why I make bigger and smaller ones. Then I made a fence, a new one, and in this set you will get 2 types of fences. One fence you can make as long as you want, because if you want to make it longer, just don't die cut this one all the way to the end, and then you can make it as long as possible, or you can die cut it a few times and then connect them and not make it so visible that it's all made out of parts. And what I did put in is the fence, but then tiny bit different. When you die cut it, it will look like this. Then you have to take it apart like this, and then you can flip it open like the gate is open, the fence gate is open. So when you do that to both parts, oh, that's a bit of waste material from the insides, but then you can stick it down like this, like the fence is open. And I thought that was a very fun idea. You also see that the fences are a little bit different, because here I put in 2 extra support poles, but I think that makes this set unique. And inside, in the middle, you can open the gate if you want to. I thought it was a nice thing to do, especially for card makers. I know card makers will love this option. Then I designed, I know you noticed that there were a few of you who made paperclip envelopes. And I thought, what a swell idea would it be to have it in a cutting die. This is the cutting die. And if you die cut it, you have to die cut if you want it to be like mine. Mine has the colors on 2 sides. I just die cut this part, so this part 2 times. And from one of them I cut off the top piece and glued it on top. This piece makes the envelope, so you can really put something inside of it, as you see, and it won't fall out. And I made an elegant edge that you can use on the flap of your envelope, and then you can use it as a paperclip on your binders. Oh, my cat sees birds, so if you hear something that sounds like a goat, that's the sound she makes when she sees birds. And in that same theme, like the paperclip envelope, I made a cupcake that you can dress up however you want. I will take it out of the packaging so you can see it more clear. So this is the cupcake, and I made this set, and it's having a teacup and the food dome. I call it a food dome because I don't know the English word for this, but it's a platter with a dome where food is normally under. And I thought it would be fun to have these when you have cookbooks, that you can put this on the drinks and this on the food parts and this on the treat dishes, sweet dishes after eating. You know what I mean. So there are 4 different ones. 5 different ones, because I also, do I say that correctly? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 different ones. I also designed this one, and this is a pie. I thought it would be fun to have also the pie, so you can die cut this one, layer this part on top, and then your pie in a different color on top. And if you don't want it to be a paperclip, you just have to cut it off here, and then you are left with just a pie die. Hey, that sounds fun. And then I designed this one. I need to see if I showed you everything. You know those cookie jars with the lid on the side that are a little bit on an angle? I put in a lid with dots, so it will emboss dots, if you like it, of course. Then you have more grip to open it. That's why I put in the dots. I put in a bow that you can use on the part, but it's a shaker, and I made it into a bigger and a smaller one, and here you can see a bit the size difference. It's as big as the palm of my hand, so not so large, and I think it was a lovely set to have, so I will put on all the links below. And last but not least, I made a box. It's a triangular box with the tails on top, and what I did, inside I put the parts, so you can give the parts also the scales, the fish scales, like I did in the bows. And I think it's a very fun box to add to your collection, because now you have the parts that you can make it really look like a mermaid tail. So these are all the dies I designed for the KLJUYP store. Of course, I will put down all the links below. And as promised, I will tell you something about the fundraising. The two sellers that are willing to help me with the vet bills. The problem in AliExpress is if they make a die over $5, then AliExpress charges sellers extra fee and shipping. That's not something sellers can do anything about, but in order for to be a little bit meat on the bone, a little bit profit left that sellers can send me if you buy the dies. The problem is we have to put the dice at $7.60. So that is the price that you will see for the word die. But because AliExpress charge more, it can be that at the final page where you pay the bill, it states, for instance, 10. If I understand the sellers correctly. So it can be that the word die will be $10 and the die with the paw prints and the cat and the dog inside, that it will be around $12 or $13. But that's due purely to the fact if I make them cheaper than $5, there is no profit left, so no use for you guys to buy it in order to help me with the vet bills. So please know that a large part of the money is cost and fees, but there will be, if I put them at $7.60 and the other one at $8.25, there will be a little bit of meat left to the bone for me to get a little bit profit in order for me to help pay the bills. And you know, I always want to be transparent and honest, but then you know we don't charge $10 and maybe $13 for the dice, or we will charge that, but a lot of it is cost that we are that we need to pay. We can't skip those payments. AliExpress wants money from the sellings, and that's logic, of course, and the sellers also need to pay for the dies to be them produced and pack them and ship them. So the word die will be between 7 and 10, and the other one will be between 8 and I think 12 or 13. But it can be that it's cheaper, but then you have a little bit of an idea when you see a price that it's not that I charge $12, but for instance the die alone, making them cost $4, and then AliExpress ask $1, $2, or $2.50 for shipping fees and selling fees. So then you know a bit how the prices are made up. I wish you all a nice day. Thank you for watching, and go check out all the new dies through the links that I will provide in the description box. Have a nice day to you all, and thank you for watching. Bye bye.